Alright, what's up you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video we're going to be talking about the C32 AMG on E85. I'm sure you guys have been enjoying the series. I've been enjoying tuning the 32 and it was a long process, and I definitely want to dive into that process, tuning with the Mercedes swap shop, and also talk about E85, the benefits of E85, and how you guys can actually get on E85 and tune on E85 with the Mercedes swap shop. The 32 is phenomenal. It's a game changer. E85 is a game changer. That's why I want to go over it and just show you guys my experience tuning the car and how the car feels and how you can go about getting yours on E85. But before we start today's video, the 32 is out there. I definitely want to get a cold start for you guys. It's been sitting for about I want to say 2.5 days, so you guys can get the full experience of the startup on E85. It's phenomenal. Again, like I said, before we start, if you guys are new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. If you just like watching Mercedes stuff in general and you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. There's a lot more content to show up on this channel, not just on the C32 AMG, which is the W203, but also on this E85 here, which is an amazing car. I love this car. There are videos on this car on the channel, but definitely go ahead and subscribe. Let's go ahead and get a cold start in. So we got the car in. There are a few things I actually did to the car when we were tuning on E85. I think on the last bits of tuning on E85 that I want to show you guys exactly what I ended up doing. And I think you guys would probably be interested in this. If anything, it's not, one of them is not really necessary, but it can help as well if you're experiencing, which I'll get to it here shortly. So along the way, obviously you guys know, my intakes, I was having issues with them, and I did a little bit more research on the stock airbox and the aluminum intakes. And if you guys saw last video, I did come up with a conclusion on just sticking with the stock air boxes, but going with the lifted kit right here with K&N filters. And these, I want to say they are the best for airflow and intake air temps. These stay cooler than the aluminum intakes. This intake, I'm sticking with it. The only downside with this is gonna be the supercharger whine. You're just sacrificing that for the best performance possible on this platform. And these intakes, I kid you not, like, they are great. I would say these are probably equivalent to the M113K with the 55 wide pipe with the spacer right here and the K&N filter. If anything, you could stick a actual M113K box on this motor. I have been told by several people that you can actually do it. I've tried it before. For some reason I couldn't get away to get it to fit. I don't know if it's because of my oil catch can lines being in the way, but I couldn't get it to fit at all. So this was the best setup I could come with. And honestly, like, I've seen my intake temps drop about 5 to 10 degrees on these spacers versus the aluminum intake that I had. Other than that, like, these flow as much as the aluminum intakes that I had, if anything a tad bit better, just because of how much it flows through into the system. If you guys are thinking about it, go ahead and do it. But if you love that supercharger whine, I would say not do it. Stick with the aluminum, or just throw a filter right here, which, you know, everyone calls it the hot air intake, but it's amazing. Second thing I did is the belt wrap kit. I did install the belt wrap kit while still tuning on E85. That was amazing. It eliminated all my slip when I was driving. And the last thing I ended up adding was this pulley right here. This is a Gates pulley. It pretty much helps with a belt wrap kit. I mean, the belt wrap kit, if you are not experiencing belt slip at all and you have it, you don't really need this. This is just the extra layer of getting no slip at all. Someone hit me up about this setup because they saw I had the belt wrap kit, or the I keep saying belt wrap kit, the pulley saver kit. I don't know why it's called a pulley saver kit. I'm sure there's a meaning to it. He basically said add this layer if you are still experiencing a little bit of belt slip, but I wasn't, but I figured I'll add it anyways because I asked my tuner about it, and he said if I can get it to work, that would be awesome. So I have this, and it wraps around the supercharger pulley, just that extra layer of wrap around the belt, and it's pretty sturdy. If you guys are actually interested in this, let me know. I think this was 22 bucks with the little pieces in there, and I'll show you guys how I actually install that. So just hit me up on this setup and go from there. But if you're not experiencing belt slip, you don't really need it, honestly. Like this is extra, I would say, but it's an additional wrap to the belt, and it helps the longevity of the belt and the pulleys as well. All right, so those were the two things I really wanted to cover before we dive into the E85. Man, before I dive into this, I just want to say, first top priority, Josh at the Mercedes Swap Shop, if you're watching this, man, thank you so much for putting in so much time and effort. There were a lot of times that we would go back to back to back with runs on this, tuning on E85. I don't have my laptop. Actually, my laptop is there, but I'm pretty sure we've been tuning on this for probably 2 months now, and it's been a blast. I've been learning a lot from you. It's definitely an experience, and I want to say thank you so much for putting the time and effort into this, because this car right now is completely different. It's a beast, and there's still a lot more to put on this car. If you guys are curious, I will get to it soon. But Josh, I want to say thank you so much for putting in the time and effort into this. You guys are curious who the Mercedes Swap Shop is? They are, I want to say, pretty much the #1 company tuner that is out there tuning on the ME 2.8, especially the M113K, the M112K, and the M113 non-supercharged. These platforms have exceeded what used to be the standard off the shelf tune. Not only that, they're also specializing in electronics as well. They've done a lot of manual swaps, and they are like gurus with electronics, I would say. I haven't really done anything electronics wise on this, but the tuning wise I have, but I want to say I've heard they are gurus with that as well. So definitely go check them out. If you guys want to tune your Mercedes, your AMG, whatever it is, go talk to them. All right, so let's talk about E85. E85 is a game changer. E85 is pretty much ethanol gas, and a lot of you guys probably know a lot about E85. Some of you might not know too much, but I figured I'll just dive into it real quick for you guys. It's pretty much race gas. It's got ethanol in it. Ethanol is amazing for these engines. Pretty much any platform, it gives your build a lot of insurance. What I mean by that is you can get away with a lot on E85. It's less prone to knock or detonation. You can have more aggressive timing on E85. Just keeps the motor safer than 91 or 93 octane. It's a special gas. It's amazing. It's equivalent to race gas, which race gas 105 to 110. And it's a lot cheaper than race gas. The reason why I went with E85 is because I knew E85 was a lot accessible to me. There's a lot of gas stations with E85 all around where I live, even a couple of hours away from where I live. I have an app that shows me where E85 stations are. I'll drive around and there'll be an E85 station, but it won't be on the map. So I'm thinking there's more E85 stations than what I have on the map on that app on my phone, which is very accessible. So like I was saying, there's a lot of room to show mercy to you, especially if you have gauges in the car and don't really look at it. You can get away with not looking at it probably 90% of the time, because you're gonna be safe on E85. E85, definitely checking your gauges is amazing. I have gauges in there. I look at it all the time whenever I'm doing a pull, just in case. But 85, you can probably get away with like 90% not looking at the gauge. Right off the bat, you're gonna see an increase in power and torque, about 30 wheel horsepower, 35 torque right off the bat without even messing with timing or boost. That's how amazing E85 is. I mean, I say amazing because like you don't have to do any modifications to your car at all to gain that 30 wheel horsepower, versus actually buying hardware to gain that 30 wheel horsepower is a lot more money than filling up with a tank of E85. E85 is a lot cheaper also than 91 or 93. You can run more boost on E85, and my car, with it being on E85 now, I have a lot of room to run more boost, and we're able to also dial in timing. We couldn't do so much with timing, but we perfected timing. It's a lot smoother. We gained a few degrees here and there, but timing all comes down to IATs. IATs are definitely gonna hurt timing, but the E85 definitely helped with being able to run more boost. So I can throw more boost on this. You guys already know I'm on a 65 and a 175 bottom, and I'm pretty sure I can go 63, or I can keep the 65 and go 180 on the bottom and still run more boost and be plenty safe. Again, E85. There's a lot more room for more power and for it being safe. And speaking of timing with intake air temps, E85 also reduces your intake air temps by at least 15 degrees. I've noticed difference in this. E85 is a lot cooler. The cooler, dense air, cooler combustion chamber. The fact that I said we can run more boost, sorry guys, this might be all over the place, but so the more boost I can run, the less prone I am to melting pistons, because obviously it's a lot cooler in the combustion chamber, and that's why we can run more boost on E85. E85, it's special, it's amazing, it's pretty cool. This car, honestly, it's gonna stay on E85. I'm gonna see how this does in the winter, but honestly, it's probably not gonna be anything different. The other nice part about E85, honestly, like with the system in general, E85 burns pretty effectively versus 91 octane or 93 octane. I say 91 because I know some of you guys are in California, but E85, like it burns so rapidly that it keeps the system clean. Like you could probably run E85 for 10,000 miles, pull the injectors, and they will look like brand new injectors versus 91. Just because 91 builds, you know, carbon here and there, but obviously with our ported system, the valves are always going to be clean. The piston heads are always going to be clean, but E85 definitely keeps your injectors as clean as possible. It probably cleans, you know, your any carbon buildup that has been built up in the past, being on 91. So right now, it's probably cleaned a bunch of carbon that I used to have in my combustion chamber, and it's amazing. So I'm trying to think of like the list or amount of questions and concerns you guys have around E85, and the fact that maybe these are related to reasons why you don't want to run E85. One, I want to say probably the first thing is it consumes a lot of fuel, but I'll tell you, it does. It's 25%. It consumes a lot more fuel than 91 or 93. But the odd thing is, and I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it still consumes more, which I've noticed, yes it does, but I'm getting a lot more miles per gallon on the cluster in the city and on the highway versus 93 octane. Yeah, I know, it's kind of weird, but my dash does show I'm getting a lot more gas, a lot more miles per gallon on the highway and in the city while driving on E85 versus when I remember on 93 octane. But it does, you know, push in more fuel whenever I get on it. But with a full tank on this car, since this car is a 16 gallon, I want to say it will probably take me 4 hours to run empty on E85. If it's a mixture of aggressive driving and cruising, that's probably gonna take me about 3.5 hours before I have to find a station to fill up on E85. It's a lot cheaper, E85, but it's gonna last you a while, trust me. It just depends on what kind of driving you're doing. If you're daily like 45 minutes commuting, Yeah, obviously that's gonna burn more fuel, but you're gonna have to fill up more. But if you're not dailying it like that, it's gonna last you a while, and it's lasting me a lot better. My gas budget has reduced just because of E85, so that's a plus on my end. But tips with E85, you have to kind of know exactly when to fill up. So on the gauge, honestly, to be honest, I don't let it get to a quarter before I have to look for E85. I want to say the line before a quarter just to be safe, because in the past, it happened only one time. There were two stations that I usually go for E85 and their pumps weren't working. So I had to travel a little bit further just to get E85. And that's when I realized never go low on E85. Just have that extra tank to get you to the next station to fill up on E85. I know that sounds like one of maybe the reasons to not get E85. Trust me, it's worth it. People do put jugs in their trunk just in case, and it's actually a pretty smart idea to have also. Maybe 2 gallons just to get you to the nearest station. If you can't find E85, is to put 91 or 93 octane on the car, and that is having a tune for the 93 octane with your car. Pretty much you have to have a laptop with you. Get the laptop out, flash it on 91 or 93 and put some 93 in, and then you're on your way. That's if you don't have the flex fuel kit, which I don't have. You don't have to have it, which is one of the questions and reasons why people don't go E85, because they don't know too much about a flex fuel kit, and honestly, you don't need it at all. As long as you have your laptop with you, and you can just hop on the laptop, flash it with a new tune, boom, you're good to go. Especially on this platform, it's pretty simple. I also do want to talk about the tester kit I have for E85. Honestly, like, you should have this. It is a fact, and I'll show you guys here shortly. So the tester kit I'm talking about is this kit right here. This I got off of Amazon, and pretty much this can be used as many times. It's pretty much a lifetime use to test for E85. So it's got a line right here. You fill with water, and the rest you fill with E85 all the way to the gasoline line right there. Shake it, and then wait about 2 minutes, and it's gonna tell you the ethanol content. If you're at E85, you're great. If you're at E90, you're great. Anything below that, I'll probably go to a different station and fill up. But all the stations that I have, my E85 is amazing. It's either E85 or in the middle. Sometimes it's rated at E90, so that's why my tune is an E85/E90 tune, just because I have really good E85 content around me. So this is the tester kit, and just keep it in your trunk and just always test for E85, because you want to make sure you're getting the right amount of ethanol with your tune. Because if you get anything, you know, below 75, man, that's not going to be good for your motor. That's probably, I don't know how bad it has to get. E50, the motor would probably blow up. I don't know. But this kit is a must. I would highly recommend this kit once you go on E85. Highly suggest you guys try an E85, going on it with the Mercedes swap shop, getting it tuned. It just depends on the availability if you guys have E85 around you. If you don't, then obviously it's something you shouldn't do at all. It's gonna be a hassle, but if you have it around you, highly recommend it, guys. Honestly, like, I just have this in my car and go out and just have so much fun with the car, and then fill up, and yeah, it's amazing. I definitely, you guys are probably thinking, are you gonna go more boost? Yes, I do want to go more boost, but I do want to do a few things first in terms of modifications. At where I am with the car, it feels amazing, but I do want to add the crossovers, the tweaked surge tanks with the crossovers. I do want to figure out how I can get my intake air temps to be a lot lower. If I can get that a lot lower, we can do a little bit more with timing also, and then probably gain a lot more power. Lower IATs are game changer, but If anything, the tweaked crossover should reduce intake air temps, and also that would gain me quite a bit of power also, and before moving on to adding boost to it. But I don't know about the boost when I will add it, because obviously I have a titanium pulley, and I definitely love the titanium series pulleys, but for the crank I can always replace that with a bigger crank. Crossovers, figure out somewhere I can get lower temps. Obviously winter is approaching, so temps are going to be phenomenal, but in the winter how I can get lower temps and increase boost as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. If you guys have any questions related to getting on E85 on this platform, just let me know in the comments down below. I'll try and answer as much as possible. Maybe I'm missing some questions you guys are thinking about that is preventing you from going E85, or just in general you want to know more about E85. Just let me know in the comments down below. I'll answer them. Other than that, man, I'm trying to think of what else I didn't cover. If you guys haven't seen previous videos, obviously we had to upgrade the injectors. We're running the 850 injectors, and I want to let you guys know, if you guys, your setup is like my setup, 850 is plenty. And these guys right here, get your injectors from them if you want to go E85. And even if you're not going to E85 and you just want to get like 550cc injectors, 630 cc's, 750 cc's, 1000 cc's, 1200 cc's, 1500 cc's, on this platform, they have it, and their pricing is phenomenal. They have it, and their kit is phenomenal. Trust me on this one. Clean injection performance. Definitely go check them out. Also, if you guys are curious on how we went about tuning timing, obviously tuning, dialing in the fuel and AFR is pretty simple. As long as you have the AFR gauge, you can have Josh dial in that. It's best if you have your gauge where I have it. I don't know if you guys are probably familiar with where my gauge is at. It's right here, and it's right next to my RPM. If Josh can see both at the same time, that is a plus. I've seen some guys put it in the middle there. Honestly, I don't understand why, but you want to look at your gauge whenever you're doing pulls, because you're looking out the window and not looking down there. It's kind of like you're using your phone while doing a pull, looking up there, looking down here. But if you're looking up here, you can see your gauge, you can see your RPM, you can see your speed. It's pretty nice. Have that AFR gauge for Josh, or if you can get data to him. Mine, I just kind of had videos for him with the RPMs. He loves to see the RPM at the same time with the AFR gauge. The other thing that we used for timing, this right here, it gives like a graph of what really is going on. Josh likes to get information on certain things with the car. Hopefully you guys can see this, but this is called Data Zap, and pretty much I was able to get information on the engine RPM, load, ignition timing, intake air temps, and calculated load value. And he kind of looks at this with my AFR, and that's how we're able to dial in timing. You guys can see this is the fastest way you can get data through your ECU for your tuner. It's pretty much every half a second, so they can dial in anything they need to look at in terms of boost or ignition timing, even fuel trim, short-term fuel trims, long-term fuel trims. Oh, this website is amazing. Definitely go check it out. The fastest data for Josh was using a what is it called? Let me grab it real quick. This is it right here, OBD Link MX Plus. Pretty much this is the fastest OBD transmitter data you can send to your PC or through your phone. I did mine on the computer because there's a software for it. I'll open up the software. This software is called, let's see what it's called, OBD's Wiz, and it pretty much comes with this. So the software is free once you purchase this, and obviously it can't communicate, so we're gonna cancel that. And let's see, we go to logs over here, and you can go to data login. It also shows you graphing as well, but data login, and this is what I had for my stuff. And it's gonna export it to a CSV file. Once that's exported, instead of looking at it with a bunch of numbers. Data Zap just puts it in a graph mode and gives you every second of every number with your timing and everything. So this is what I used. Honestly, this is budget friendly. I did so much research because I didn't have the funds to get the expensive stuff to hook up to the car to look at data to send to Josh. So this was the best setup. He loved it. It was amazing. So if you're planning to do some advanced timing, get more into your tuning with your tuner, definitely go ahead and try this out. Data Zap with the OBD Link MX Plus, and then the software you can use the OBD Wiz right here, and this captures data as fast as possible versus on your phone. So that's what I ended up using, and we dialed in the car, and phenomenal. So I figured I'll mention that as well, so you guys are also in the loop with that, so you guys can actually dial in your car rather than going with an off-the-shelf tune. Off-the-shelf tune is not your car, it's someone else's car. It's crazy. I hope you guys picked up a ton in this video with E85 on this platform. E85 is amazing, but I'm gonna go out and take the car out and enjoy it, come back, and today Man City plays Arsenal. It's gonna be a huge game, so I'm excited about that. I'm gonna watch that after I get back, after taking this car on a nice spirited drive mixed with just cruising. If you guys are new to the channel, if you guys picked up a ton and you guys are stopping by and haven't subscribed, definitely go ahead and subscribe. If you guys can smash the like, camera cut off at the end, I was saying you guys smash the like button on this video. Keep up with future videos because I think I do want to line this car up with a few of my buddies' cars. They've got some pretty nice fast cars as well, so we'll see how this thing does. It will just be for fun, and I hope you guys enjoy that content as well. All right, you guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.